Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 107 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one's titled Contract Broken. This chapter takes place 1 hour earlier than the previous chapter. You and Delilah worked hard, quickly making the foods required, and once you were done you loaded them onto trays and prepared to move them out. "I'll do it," you called to Delilah, lining up to carry the trays of buns out. She shook her head and sighed to herself and let you go. I really hope she doesn't go snooping around because they don't like it when you get curious. She shifted uncomfortably and pulled her sleeve down a little further to cover 2 deep gashes on the inside of her elbow. Just then the door to the kitchen opened and out you walked, with fellow kitchen staff in front and more behind. You were all channeled down the hall into a room where a long table was set up, and you were to put the trays down and then go straight back to the kitchen. Thinking fast, you pretended like you dropped something on the floor and then quickly snuck under the long table drapes and crawled all the way along to where it was closest to the far end door, and there you waited until the guards at that door moved away. Once the guard had left his post, you quickly and quietly crawled over and pried the door open and crawled through. It was dark on the other side, and you pushed yourself up against the wall to wait for your eyes to adjust before looking around. It looked like an office, which was good, and you crawled over to the desk and hid under it until you felt safe enough to come out and stand up. There were quite a few letters on the desk, but you couldn't read them as they were all in code, and you quickly put one in your pocket to keep and show Tamaki later. Unable to see too much, you reached for the lamp on the desk and turned it on, searching for names of something, anything. There were a lot of blue businessman stamps on everything, but nothing seemed to be getting you anywhere. Annoyed, you turned to the bookshelf and scanned over the spines of the books to glean any more information. There was a blue book that stood out to you a little, as it looked a bit cleaner than the others, so you pulled on it to take it out, but instead of the book pulling free of the shelf, the whole front of the shelf started to rotate. "It's a secret passage," you thought with surprise, as you let the bookcase rotate until you were on the other side. Quickly stepping in, you waited until the case had closed behind you, and then almost immediately the hall ahead lit up, with rows of lights either side on the smooth brown walls. "What is this place?" you thought as you took a tentative step forward. Nothing seemed amiss, so you slowly followed the hall, looking for any sign of where this was leading you to. As you got a fair way along the wall, you saw a map ahead, pinned to the wall, and you stopped to look it over. To your surprise, you realised it was a map of the different levels and how this labyrinth of connecting tunnels worked between them all, making it far easier for the blue businessmen to move large groups of people and goods without being caught. Whoa, okay, so we may have bitten off a little more than we can chew? You studied the map for a bit before moving on a little quicker, feeling like you should probably try and find your way out just in case you got caught. The map told you that you were currently on level 18, and if you kept going straight ahead you would pop up on level 31 inside a building there. What am I going to do when I get to the other end? I'll need to somehow get back to Delilah. Ahead there was a door in the side of the wall, and you walked over to it and listened before entering. It was another office, so you walked to the desk to see if there were any more pieces of information for you to use. You had only just walked around to the chair there when you heard a noise outside the door and you ducked down. "Check in there," the voice said, and the office door opened. Oh dang, did they know I went missing? You wondered. Unfortunately, you were discovered almost immediately, as hiding under the desk was kinda obvious, and a guard looked under and directly into your face. "Oh," you said in a surprised voice. "Hi." "She's here," he called, and reached under to grab your arm. "Hey," you said with surprise when he yanked you out roughly. "Calm down, I'm not fighting you. You don't need to be so rough." "What are you doing in here?" he growled. "I got lost," you offered, not really believing your own comment either. "Lost, huh?" he sneered. The other guard appeared in the doorway and walked over, feeling you down for weapons or other items. You tried to stop him from digging into your pocket, but he did, and he found the letter that you had swiped. "Who are you?" he demanded. "What's your name? Who sent you?" I don't know. I got lost, and can you take me back to Delilah now?" While you talked, the guard holding you checked your arm and saw you were contracted. "Your owner's name's Delilah?" he asked. "Where is she?" I don't know. In the kitchen? I brought the bread into the room, and then I walked out the wrong door and ended up here," you said, sounding a little more believable than before. "Did she tell you to snoop?" he pressed. "What? No." "Have you got something to hide?" you retorted. "Don't get smart," he growled. handling you roughly out the door. "This obviously is your first offence, and we don't get many trying a second time." And with that you were marched quickly out of the room and back down the way you'd come. Unfortunately though, you were expecting to be handed back over to Delilah and left alone, but instead you were taken to her and stood before her. When she saw you detained by the guards, she paled and looked visibly shaken. "Uncontract her now," the guard on your left growled menacingly at her. "No, please," Delilah begged. "She must have gotten lost. I'll take her with me and you won't see us again." "You have 3 seconds to uncontract her," the guard replied darkly. "1. He started counting. Forced to do his bidding, she quickly opened her menu and clicked the button that would break the slave contract with you. "I'm sorry," she whispered, a tear slipping down her cheek. Oh dear, we'll have to stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 108, coming tomorrow.